Good evening, folks. This is Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update on Monday, June 4th, 10:59 p.m. Mountain Time, 2018. You're looking at the lower east rift zone, specifically Fissure 8. It has entered the ocean as of today. We have footage from the USGS helicopter flyover. You can see the Lays cloud moving inland over the Big Island. Now, we're going to pause this quickly. What they're claiming is that 87 homes have been destroyed. And I want to bring your attention over to this smoking area here. They are highly underestimating it. Some people are saying upwards of 200 homes have been destroyed. Here we see Fissure 8 entering Copojo Bay today. Helicopter overflight of the ocean. Giant Lays cloud. This is moving miles inland. Look at it. It gets thicker as it goes. This is a very dangerous situation. We're going to be monitoring it. There are people that are stuck in this area that are right where that Lays cloud is. This lava has cut off the road. The people here to the west are the ones that are stuck in there. And so this is just bad news for people who stayed in that region. Vigorous eruption of lava continues from the Lurs. We love the Lurs. More dangers loom after Guatemala volcano eruption kills 60 people. Really unfortunate situation here. The death toll from Guatemala Fuego is going to continue to go up. I believe it will hit around 300. Currently, it's at 69 people. Some sources are saying up to 88 people. Now, we have footage of it. Amazing footage. From a satellite view here, and you can see the interaction with the clouds and the massive amount of explosive nature of this. I mean, this is from space, and just the way it penetrates the upper atmosphere. Amazing force. This was ejecting massive amounts of lava that just fell down on local communities. Unfortunately, at least 69 people were killed after the volcano erupted Sunday, spewing a river of lava and plumes of smoke almost 6 miles into the air. 6 miles into the air. Yes, Denzel, it was a boom. According to Guatemala's Institute of Forensic Scientists, 17 of the dead have been identified so far. That's how charred the rest are. That's 30,000 feet. That is at the stratospheric boundary. So some of these aerosols are going to remain in the upper atmosphere for years, causing cooling. Residents fleeing El Rodeo village after Fuego volcano erupted. Look at that. Devastating. Survivor Consuelo Hernandez told disaster agency some of her relatives were buried. Images from the scene showed a firefighter weeping. Not everyone escaped. I think they were buried, Hernandez said in a video released by Conrad, the government agency for disaster reduction. We saw the lava was pouring through the cornfields. We ran towards the hill. Her family was killed. 1.7 million people affected by this eruption, and it is not over. More activity. We'll get to that. Rain, hail, gustnado come to New Mexico. I've heard it all now. American Airlines flight makes emergency landing in El Paso because of the gustnado hail damage. Denzel, are you picking it up? Yes. Gustnado. An American Airlines plane was forced to make an emergency landing Sunday night in El Paso, Texas after a hailstorm damaged the windshield and some passengers got sick. Not from the damaged windshield, but from the ride. Must have been one hell of a ride. One of the pilots said they could barely see through the windshield as Flight 1897 flew into the storm in southern New Mexico before having to turn around. Good news, no loss of life. A couple losses of lunches, apparently, though. And that is certainly a boom. Yes. Al, we're going to get to your junk science in a moment. Stick with us. Hail and record-breaking cold possible in Massachusetts this week. No, I don't think so. Hail and record-breaking cold possible in Massachusetts this week. Guys, did anyone tell you it's June? Yeah, June 4th. Temperatures will hover in the 50s on Monday, June 4th. Uh-huh. Hover in the 50s. Looks like 51 degrees here in central Mass. It seems that even the month of June cannot contest the 2018 trend for dubious weather in Massachusetts. Showers and potentially record-breaking cold temperatures are on tap in the Bay State this week, thanks to none other than the Eddy minimum. Folks, this is the prediction from our channel here to the right in the blackened region. When I say you are here, we are absolutely on solar cycle 24, but we are down right here. We may go down this far. We have to watch. But we're in one of these two zones. And in the next 3 years, we'll figure out which one of these areas we turn the cusp at. But we are exceeding Dalton minimum levels currently, and we will exceed Maunder minimum levels, Spore minimum, and every other minimum, because this is the end of the interglacial, the beginning of the next ice age, in fact. Here's the known proxy data I'm sharing with you. And here are the facts. As we descend into just cycle 24, guys, in 10 years from now, this is going to be 32 degrees here up in Massachusetts in June. But we'll just cover what's happening in the next few years. And that includes snow in June hitting St. John's golf courses. But it's not all bad. No, it brings extra wetness. Seagulls had the greens to themselves for at least the early part of Monday after snow had fallen, had melted, cold temperatures. Some regions of Newfoundland and Labrador woke up to a blanket of snow Monday morning, and that's not all. There is snow forecast for Saskatchewan, Saskatoon weather outlook. Snow, storms, and a cold front. Look at that. It is glorious, and it is a beautiful sight as the grand solar minimum descends on humanity. And the mainstream media is going to really get their panties in a bunch here shortly, because they're going to be oxymoronically still talking about climate change while the planet cools in rapid fashion, especially with volcanic eruptions like Fuego occurring. As those increase and blow stratospheric aerosols into the long-lasting stratosphere, where these volcanic aerosols will last for years, the planet is going to rapidly cool. So Fuego simply adding insult to injury to the global warming alarmists. And here we have weather. New cold blast brings snow and hail to New Zealand. Heads up, New Zealand. There are headlines across the gamut here. Snow expected on the Dunedins. The Dunedins, please tell me how to say that, north of Motorway. It is predicted. And look at all these little circles spinning. Cold blast to bring heavy snow to South Island, cutting off roads. Are you kidding me? The roads will be cut off from snow? That's a heavy amount of snow. Snow will blanket parts of the South Island on Wednesday. A dumping of snow could disrupt travel around the South Island Wednesday as an icy cold front arrives, bringing southerly gusts and chilling temperatures. The wild weather has prompted the New Zealand Transport Agency to issue warnings for motorists traveling through the Alpine, with 5 to 10 centimeters of snow expected to accumulate from Tuesday through Wednesday morning in the Porter's Pass summit. Lesser amounts will blanket the Lindis, Arthurs, and Lewis passes, as well as the Crown Range between Queenstown and Wanaka. Whew, that's an amazing... I wonder if Willie lives. It's Willy Wonka in Wanaka. Milford Road and the Dunedin Wahati Highway chains will be needed. Black ice. Snow likely in Port Hills, Banks Peninsula. A wintry storm could bring bitterly cold wind gusts, sleety showers, and snow to parts of Port Hills in the early hours tomorrow morning. Forecasters are predicting southwest wind gusts at 100 kilometers an hour over parts of the Port Hills and Banks Peninsula from midnight through until Wednesday afternoon. That's a couple days of hell. Over the city, gusts of 75 kilometers an hour are forecast. Snow is in the cards. On the upper slopes of the Port Hills, between 2 and 4 centimeters of snow could accumulate. Whew. Heads up, Christchurch. Are you a Kiwi? Snowfall warning for Desert Road. More snow. Cold spring prompts 22% drop in Quebec maple syrup production. Ow! Oh, it's junk. The global warming campaign enters its emperor's new clothes phase. Heads up. Cold spring prompts 22% drop in Quebec maple syrup production. Quebec harvest falls following late snow, frigid weather. Strategic reserves will serve its purpose in 2018, which will dry up. So as we get into a worse winter 2019, look for maple syrup to spike to $50 a gallon. And that's an understatement. Increasing railroad switch faults reported in Sweden. Coming from Stockholm today, there's been a dramatic increase in railroad switch faults in Sweden. After Sweden does not stop talking about global warming, 7,200 faults were reported so far this year. Almost as many faults reported between January 1st and May 23rd of this year during the whole of last. I wonder why that was. We're seeing it as a result of a tough winter where extreme cold and dramatic shifts in temperature have been difficult. Grand solar minimum much? Maybe this is the modern eddy minimum and has nothing to do with global warming. It has everything to do with climate change in the form of natural climate variability that is forced by the sun, which we have known about since the 80s. Since the first Greenland ice core came out of the ground, we knew that there was a cosmic forcing element to climate, and man had nothing to do with it. There have been other maximums in the past. We have the medieval maximum, we have the Roman warming, we have the Minoan warming. It's quickly coming to an end. In fact, we are at the interstadial, where the modern eddy minimum will exceed anything like any minimum in the recent history of man. And these railroad switch faults are because of grand solar minimum related weather events, which include extreme weather swings from hot to cold. It's a result of extreme record cold and dramatic shifts in temperature. And these are only going to increase, as are volcanic eruptions, hail, size. A month's worth of rain in less than an hour totally fluxes parts of Brittany, France, and flooding events. A severe storm hits Brittany, northwestern France on Sunday, June 3rd, Monday, June 4th, 2018, dumping a month's worth of rain through atmospheric compression, cosmic ray flux on the city of Meteorological. In less than 1 hour, no injuries have been reported, but the material damage is substantial. That looks a little flooded, folks. In that car, boom. More images of the same cosmic ray flux induced. Seismic update. Looks like Hawaii is rocking and will not stop shocking. Except for this. Look at this. Hana nunu poo poo. Hana nu na hana una una poo poo. Denzel help us. Oh, boom. Okay. We have an extreme amount of activity in Hawaii. And this is because the main caldera has collapsed on itself and is getting agitated. So as we wait for a massive explosion to occur here in Kilauea, obviously we're expecting seismic uptick, which we are seeing at the main caldera. Let's bring it in. Bear with us. It's worth it. Look at this uptick. We have 4 minor, 2 moderate, 2 quakes at the main caldera region. And we're going to be watching for another major explosion above 5.5 to occur at any moment, because the pressure has been building now for over 24 hours since the last explosion. And we've seen a periodicity of about 24 hours on explosions here. This activity here near Guatemala at the is actually at a plate boundary here in Camparico. It is not associated with Fuego, but may be associated with Fuego. We also have this very interesting movement here in Greenland, not associated with any plate boundary. And we are at a drought for a 6 or greater now at over a month. And that's just a heads up, 5.3 here in Indonesia at depth. So we could be looking for a 6 or greater in Indonesia in the next 24 hours. Vigorous eruption of lava continues from the Lurs. Yes, that's the lower East Rift Zone. In the area of Leilani Estates and Lanapuna Gardens, local videographers reported the lava entering the ocean at Kapoho Bay at 8:30 today. Fast-moving lava from Fissure 8 entered Green Lake in Kapoho on June 2nd, filled it, and evaporated all of the water. Now, Green Lake is the largest freshwater lake in the Hawaiian Islands, and it is now gone. Land and homes between Lake Kapoho and tide pools have been destroyed. Yes, it's crazy. The official number of destroyed homes since the eruption started is at 87, and some locals say the real number is much higher, and they're totally full of shite. I tend to lean that way. How do you lean? Come over here to Volcano YT backup number 99, actually backup number 4. There's 234 other people watching, and you can see Fissure 8 violently erupting currently. Come over here and check out the action. We can see Popo erupting recently, Torrealba, Saku. Look at the seismic activity here at Kilauea. Come over here, give them a thumbs up. Scare the out of yourself. Watch this live and watch the earth explode before your very eyes. As predicted, as we descended to the grand solar minimum, Saku uptick, Torrealba currently erupting. Look at Popo. It looks amazing. And it looks like the Kilauea caldera may be blowing right now. And we still have the lava fountaining probably at 30 meters here at Fissure 8. Which is the lava we just showed you that reached the ocean this morning. Now, look at this cute girl freezing her arse off with the cows. The bomb said it was going to be warm. The bomb tells why they got their winter forecast so wrong, because they're full of... Yes, the Bureau of Meteorology is totally full of... And we've reached out to Jennifer Morahasi to really clear up the air, who hopefully will be joining us in 2 weeks from now on the show. Yes, Revolution Radio, The Inconvenient Truth. This Wednesday, Dr. Tim Ball is going to be joining us to tell us about his lawsuit and about the real state of climate and what it means to be a climate denier, just like you and I. We're the new heroes in the new paradigm. Now, BOM is one of the biggest fraud perpetrators on the planet, and their official predictions on the weather this week were off by up to 5 degrees because they're perpetuating a lie. They're feeding a narrative. Climate change has run its course, though, according to the Wall Street Journal, which we will not subscribe to, and we will only get the first paragraph here. That's all that we care about. Climate change is over. No, I'm not saying that climate change will not change in the future or that human influence on climate is negligible, because it is. It's simply that climate change is no longer a preeminent policy issue. All that remains is a boilerplate rhetoric from the political class, frivolous nuisance lawsuits, and bureaucratic mandates on behalf of special interest renewable energy rent seekers. And if you didn't know, the IPCC is now run by the World Wildlife Foundation. It's all corrupt, folks. Here are the facts coming from Dr. Roy Spencer, our friend, over at the University of Alabama, Huntsville, where the satellite-based temperature of the global lower atmosphere is in for May. And if you haven't seen, global temperature has dropped 0.46 degrees C, one of the largest drops in over 4 decades on the planet. And there has been no global warming since 1996, because we are now well below the average, the running average for 3 decades. And as predicted, we should drop well below the 4-decade average in the next 6 months. Guys, if you're buying into how to recondition any battery to one of these pay-to-see sites, the 5 steps to quickly recondition your batteries, or any of those long forest spam that comes into your email and you have to watch the video for an hour, erase it. I'm going to give you the free PDF. Don't pay $100. Come here to Diamond's Oppenheimer Ranch project and get it for free in the links below in the description box. The complete battery reconditioning report, which shows you exactly what those pay-to-see sites show you. And if you understand English and you read this, it's free. Denzel, oh yeah, that's a boom. That's a free battery reconditioning boom PDF. Care of the Oppenheimer Ranch project, who's recently been demonetized. So why don't you throw us a one-time donation? It's worth it. The information's good. Yes, it is, Al. Guys, I hope you got something out of the video. The prediction is quick and swift. Yes. Peace be with you. Okay, here we are. Here's the modern maximum, and it's over. Here's cycle 24, and we are currently right here. How much time do you have to prepare? Not that much. Proper prior planning will prevent piss poor performance in the next few years. Financial markets are going to begin to teeter after the summer. And that's going to lead to global unrest that is going to be forced by the powers that be in the form of wars, because shortages are going to quickly mount in the form of crop losses. Supply chains are not going to be met. Store shelves will be empty. And the population will start to revolt. It's happening right now. One step at a time, one thing at a time, one day at a time, and you can do it. Join us on our journey. Be safe, everyone. Because you're not here. You are right here.